Ladies and gentlemen, please put your hands together for Lexi Hebb.
Hi everyone, and welcome to YoungLife Live. I'm so excited you're here tonight with us for our first ever virtual fundraising event. My name's Lexi Hebb, and I'm the area director of YoungLife here in Heart of Orlando. Tonight, I get the pleasure of sharing with you a little bit about where YoungLife has been, where we are currently, and where we hope to go in the future. And I can't wait to share stories about what our volunteer leaders are doing with kids.
Hold on!
Oh my gosh!
We made it! Traffic on I-4 is just crazy.
We're filming. I'm in the middle of what? Who are you and what are you doing here?
Well, that's easy. My name's Jerry.
And I'm Jeff.
Hey, and we're the Gala guys.
You know
We
who
crash
are.
weddings all day long.
And galas too, specifically galas.
Specifically galas.
Well, greetings there, individuals against the recycling of toothbrush
Hey, no.
gala guests.
That was
No.
last week. Last week's gala.
No, this is YoungLife Live. This is the Heart of Orlando YoungLife Gala. And oh my God.
Heart of Orlando. Oh, it's a medical thing. Well, okay, you guys are so successful.
You know what? You guys are a great audience for tonight. I think you should stick around and hear a little bit about what our YoungLife leaders are doing in the city to impact kids.
What is a Young Life leader?
There's this common conversation that happens between kids and their parents. It's September, the leaves are falling, and every kid in the universe is excited about one thing: Friday night football. The teenager finishes dinner at home and is already halfway out the door when he turns around and shouts, "Mom, I'm going to my Young Life leader's house after the game." Not so fast, mister. Explaining Young Life isn't easy. The only thing harder than explaining Young Life is explaining Young Life to worried parents. How worried? Kitchen table conversation worried. The hardest part to explain for the kid isn't the Young Life events or the Young Life camps. It's the relationship with these guys. Who are these people, and why do they spend all their time with high schoolers and middle schoolers? What's a Young Life leader? It's Monday. The leader is supposed to get up at 5:45 a.m. They end up getting up at 5:54, so no time to shower. They need to be at a school that they didn't graduate from in 20 minutes to pass out donuts. Luckily, they can drive to this school in their sleep because they've spent every Monday for months doing the same exact thing, which is why they threw away the donut holes and started using the whole thing, no pun intended. Even though no one wanted donuts and they burned through half a tank of gas, they consider the morning a success. Another quarter tank of gas later, and they are home just on time for their 8 a.m. psychology lecture. Yeah, psychology lecture. College isn't going to finish itself. Classes drag, but once they're finished, it's back up to the school that they didn't graduate from. It's Campaigners tonight, which is pretty much just a Bible study for people that wouldn't usually come to one. Moms are happy everywhere that their child's NIV is no longer collecting dust.
Campaigners is a place where people can be real. It's a place where people are free to ask the questions that they've always been thinking and find out those answers.
Right before they sleep, they briefly recall all the new names that they had learned that day at the school that they didn't All right, you get it. Tuesday. Sun rises. Tuesday is an almost identical day to Monday, minus the donuts and plus a basketball game. They see that student again. They laugh at one of your jokes. Let's go! On their way back home, they stop by the local sports bar and ask about fundraising opportunities. The leader needs to raise a lot of money and not a lot of time if they want all the students to go to Young Life Camp. What's Young Life Camp? It's the best week of your life, but we really don't have time to talk about that right now. Wednesday. Club Day, Young Life's party with a purpose. The leader has been rehearsing their lines for weeks for a silly skit that may or may not be funny. Is Salt Bae still funny? Anyways, Club isn't just some loud event that starts at 8:08. It's a loud event that breaks down walls. It just happens to be at a goofy time.
Young Life Club's weird.
Play a ton of games, listen to music, dance, talk at the end about Jesus.
That one student came and had the best time while hearing about a God who loved them. No, seriously, is Salt Bae still funny or have we moved on? Fast forward to the weekend. No one wants to see more lectures and car rides. We get it, you're in college, you do a lot of stuff. The leader has now spent a total of 5 hours and a tank and a half of gas of going to and from the school that they lead at.
I fill up my gas tank every single time I'm in Finneytown.
It's a quiet Sunday afternoon, the perfect time to catch up on schoolwork. Then the phone rings. It's from an unknown number, which usually means don't pick up, but for some reason, they do. It's that student. They asked to get lunch. Suddenly, homework isn't important. I'm on my way. The donuts, the basketball games, they're good things. In fact, they're great. But they're meaningless if they don't lead to something bigger. This is the heartbeat of Young Life, and it always has been. The something doesn't have to be sensational. It doesn't have to be spectacle. It doesn't have to be club, campaigners, or even Young Life camp. The walls are already down, the teenager is already won, and the stage is already set for something. It's this: to introduce teenagers to Jesus Christ and help them grow in their faith. It looks like this. It's not just because they care, but it's because they've been transformed by God's love and feel compelled to share that in the best way they know how. What's a Young Life leader? They're people, just like you and I. But what does a Young Life leader do? They care. And it looks a lot like showing up, one day at a time.
Wow.
That sure is something.
Well, that seems like a lot of work, I'll tell you that.
A ton.
Well, it is a lot of work. Our volunteers are working really hard to make sure kids know that they're loved.
Good for them.
That's
But
nice.
it's awesome. You know, instead of just telling you about it, if you really want to see what Young Life looks like, I'd highly recommend going out into our community, hanging out in Winter Park, College Park, around Lake Highland, and in Central Orlando.
A lot of parks.
I think that if you check out some spots around town, you would see kids with their Young Life leaders at 7-Eleven, Dartmouth Park, the Salty Donut, the lacrosse field. They're all over.
Well, we don't know much about what Young Life leaders are.
Hey, but we do know a lot about galas.
Okay, well, while you're out there, maybe you can help us share the Young Life Live virtual gala event with some people in our community.
That sounds great.
That'd be helpful.
We're
actually.
on your dollar.
You
So
know
whatever
what,
you want
Leslie?
us.
We'll do that right there for you, Leslie. All
Sounds
right?
good, Lynette. We'll see you later.
Okay.
Her name was Lynette.
I said it's Leslie.
I'm so sorry about that. I'm really not at all used to being interrupted by people in costume while I'm talking. Anyway, I am so excited about this opportunity to share with you a little bit about how Heart of Orlando Young Life has grown over the past 2 years. So let's take a look at the past 5 years. Since 2015, we've doubled the number of our full-time staff. Since then, we've added 3 new clubs, reaching different schools in our area. Over the past 5 years, we've expanded our discipleship from just 4 total campaigners groups to 12 different small groups, now reaching nearly 200 teenagers involved regularly in Bible study. We've seen significant growth in our leader base, having the opportunity to add more new volunteer leaders in the past year than almost the past 5 years combined. In the last 5 years, the number of buses that we've taken to camp has also doubled, which means we've seen life change in countless kids as they've come to know Jesus. We love getting to look back and celebrate all of this. And when we think about Young Life across the city of Orlando, including our ministries here, Orlando is home to 23 schools with active Young Life and Wildlife ministry. And we're so grateful that we get to be a part of that because of people like you.
Hey, so Lucy told us that tonight we gotta bring this gala to life. So we're bringing it to life? Hey, and if we know anything about galas, it's that every gala's got that wow factor, that X factor, that surprise thing you never expected. So, tell them what we're gonna do, tell them what we're gonna bring that to life. We're gonna go surprise some people in our community. We're going to the people in the community and we're gonna surprise them in their natural environments. They'll never know it's coming. Best gala ever.
Hold on, I'm selling stock.
Hey, stock's done, man. The market's closed. Hey!
Scott Armstrong, local board member.
Local legend as well. Okay, we're here. Here we are. At JCJ Insurance and Fleming Agency. Here to find our guy, Beeman King. Word on the street is that Beeman King runs this place, and so we figure we go to the big dog and talk to him ourselves. Absolutely. What do you say we go and get him, huh? Let's go get our boy. All right. Beeman. Beeman! Good to see you, man! Oh, happy gala! Thank you for calling, JCJ. We'll talk to you later. Goodbye. It's Young Life Gala night tonight. You ready? What are you doing? You're in your casuals, man! Are you wearing that to the gala? No, come on.
Seriously, what's
We
going
gotta,
on?
let's go.
What are you
Come
guys
on.
doing? You guys are dressed weird.
Here we go.
Hair. Is that your real hair?
Yes, it is my real hair. Hey, here we go.
What side you go on that side? I'll go
All right,
on
let me
this
get a
side.
picture with it. Baby! Good to see you, man. So this must be the king.
And this must be the kingdom.
Like what you done with the place, man. Up.
Get on
Let's
there.
try out this throne, am I right?
Oh, good throw.
Super spinny.
Expensive chair.
3, 2, 1. Perfect. That's what I'm talking about there. So we were thinking we'd come find the big dog who's in charge of all this, and then he would tell us a little bit more about Young Life if that's cool. So we came to you.
Well, I'm just a volunteer. I just hang out with kids all day.
What?
We thought you were in charge.
We thought you were the big guy.
Well, then who's in charge?
I think David here.
Oh, well, maybe we should go and talk to David.
David, we should talk to David. Hey, thank you very much. Have a
Right,
great
well,
day.
We'll
Enjoy
see you
your
later.
kingdom.
We'll see you later.
David. Boy, it's gotta be in here somewhere. Look in there.
Well, that's good. He's on there.
David,
Is he in there?
nope. Oh, this is going to be it right there. Surprise. 3, 2, David. David. Where is he? Oh, he must have up and left town. That dirty dog. Where is he? David, yeah! That's you there?
Hey guys.
We thought we lost you. What are you doing here playing pinball?
Oh, this is just my lunch break.
Oh, lunch break. This guy, am I right?
Hey, David, we got a gala to get
The
to.
gala's tonight. What are you doing here?
No. I'm no longer in charge of the gala, guys.
Yeah, we heard you left. We heard you up and left, huh?
No, I didn't
We heard you.
leave.
No, we don't care about the kids anymore, huh? Is that what it is?
Guys.
Rehabilitation.
This guy, am I right?
I love Young Life. I'm still with Young Life, just in a different role.
Wait, so you're not in charge anymore?
No, not for Heart of Orlando.
But if you're gone, who's in charge? Who runs this show?
Well, Lexi.
Liesel?
Linda! Oh, yeah,
No.
she's great.
It's Lexi.
But she's doing it all by, yeah.
She's all by, she's the one that knows all
She's
the
doing
kids.
it all by herself, huh?
No, she have herself. She's got a great team of people. Wait, do you want to meet him?
Oh, we would love
We'd
to.
love to meet him.
That'd be perfect.
Let's go.
I continued to pursue middle school kids because I was a middle schooler once and I know what it feels like. Middle school is really hard. And when I was a middle schooler, I was so thankful that I had a Young Life leader. That wasn't my parents, that wasn't a youth group leader. I had a Young Life leader that I could be real with, I could be honest with. I could go get ice cream, I could go get a milkshake, and I could just be honest with them. My leader knew me inside and out and pursued me. In middle school, I really struggled with knowing my value and knowing my worth and believing that I was beautiful. And my leader completely changed my mind and changed my heart. She showed me Jesus in a way that I had never experienced him, especially at camp. You know, there's only so many adults, so few adults that would be willing to get covered in mud in a mud pit at Southwind. But my Young Life leader did that, and she did that for me. And it just showed me this overwhelming love and just the love of Jesus.
I continue to pursue students at Lake Highland because I think that teenage and adolescent years are very important years and very formative years. And I think that I want students to experience Christ in these formative years, and hopefully that they will, outside of knowing me and outside of Young Life, continue to pursue Christ and know the Lord into college and into post-college and when they have their own families. And my hope would be that the students that I'm pursuing would be better parents and better husbands and wives and neighbors because of that.
I'm so passionate about our Capernaum ministry because it serves high school students with disabilities throughout the city, and it's just a traditionally underreached group of people. Paul tells us in 1 Corinthians that we are the body of Christ, and that body is not complete without every single one of its parts. I truly believe that our friends with disabilities are an integral part of that body and a part of the kingdom, and Capernaum gives them a place to learn that about themselves and then take it and act on it and grow the kingdom, tell their friends about Jesus, and develop a personal relationship with him.
I think that high schoolers, especially high school guys, don't like to talk about what's really going on in their lives. It's easy to brush off their thoughts or their feelings or their emotions by picking up a basketball or a football or cracking a joke and just laughing off what they're thinking and feeling. I love doing Campaigner small group with high school guys because it gives us a space, an outlet to be real with each other and talk about what's really going on in our lives.
I keep loving kids at Edgewater High School, College Park Middle School, and Howard Middle School because when I was a senior in high school, I got invited to Young Life and it completely changed my relationship with the Lord. And I was a church kid and I saw what outreach ministry meant. It meant bringing in the farthest out kids who hadn't been to church before, and I really loved that. And I'm here working for Young Life today because I love the mission of Young Life to get every type of kid to the feet of Jesus.
I started volunteering with Capernaum about 10 years ago, and my own personal walk with the Lord has been transformed through that process. I've learned so much about just the unconditional love of God through hanging out with my friends Bonnie and Asia and Mason and Ryan and Sam. They love so well. They love me well when I don't deserve it, and they've shown me a different picture of Jesus.
I love Young Life Camp. It is one of my absolute favorite places on earth. The joy, the laughter, the fun, it's like nothing else. One of my favorite things about being a leader at camp is watching a kid at the beginning of the week go from disinterested, closed off, and cold to at the end of the week being filled with life and joy because of the gospel message they heard throughout. It is such a joy. And leaders go home with kids at the end of the week and come back to Orlando and live life with them. And that's one of my favorite things.
One of our greatest desires for our daughter as she enters middle school is that her faith will become more and more of her own. But we know that during this time she will need someone more than just her mom and dad to help her know who God is, what He is like, and how much He loves her. And that's where a wildlife leader comes in.
I think without my leader, I would be pretty lost. I went to church, I did youth group, and those were all great things, but there's just something different about the relationship with a Young Life leader that I didn't have with anyone else.
Teenagers are influenced by all kinds of things in this world, whether it's social media, celebrities, or even their friends. And Campaigners is an opportunity to get to sit down with guys like Mason and Parker and Jackson and be influenced by Christ and be influenced by what the Bible says is true. And I love the opportunity to get to walk through that with them.
As a parent, but also as someone who works in this ministry, I am so excited for our daughter to be in Wildlife next year and to have a wildlife leader who can pour into her life, show her who the Lord is, and help her grow in her relationship with Him. And also to have friends that are excited about Jesus and can help her as she grows in her faith.
I love middle schoolers a whole lot, and I can't believe this is my job. We as Young Life leaders and staff get to every day be with kids and tell them the love of Jesus. And my Young Life leader did that for me. She changed my life, and I cannot believe that I now get to be that for middle school kids. I get emotional.
If you want your kid to find a place where they are truly known and loved and introduced to Jesus, then I can't think of a better place than Wildlife here in Orlando for your kid to get involved.
After leading 6 years of camp trips, one of my favorite things is watching leaders come home with kids and continue to live life with them. And an example of that is right here in College Park, my friend Liam, that you'll get to hear a little bit more about.
Hi, I'm Liam. I go to Edgewater High School. I've been going to Young Life and Wildlife since 6th grade. Young Life has made a difference in my life because I've made so many friends and I've had so many memories from going to Young Life camps and going to Young Life clubs. It's just been such a good part of my life. I'll never forget having one-on-ones with my leaders, Beeman and Christian, at camp. They allowed me to open up about what it was like at school, at home, and I could just ask them questions about what it was like during this time in my life. I like one-on-ones because it's a good time to talk to your leader just about life and problems you're having, or just even hang out with your leader like a friend. If I wasn't involved in Young Life, I would have felt so lonely and discouraged during my middle school years. But because of Young Life, I met so many great friends, and it really helped me throughout that time. Young Life has taught me that I don't need to be perfect or have it all together to have Jesus in my life or for him to love me. I'm grateful for a place to learn what that means for me and that other kids in Orlando get to have it too.
I'm so glad that you got to hear Liam's story. And there are tons of stories like this, where a Young Life leader like Beeman has entered the life of a teenager to help them understand what it means to follow Jesus. And we're not going to stop until every kid has had a chance to hear that they're important, that they matter, and that they are loved by God.
Lorraine!
Hi!
Oh man,
It's
good to
Lexi.
see you.
So good to see you.
Oh.
This night has been amazing.
The best gala ever, maybe.
It's been fun. I'm so glad you got to come to Young Life Live and that you got to meet Liam. We're really
Liam!
we're glad you're here.
Yeah, this has the potential to be the best gala we've ever crashed. It's had all the details.
Wow.
Oh man.
It's had organizational updates.
Check.
Touching stories.
Check.
Ridiculously good-looking people for comedic relief.
Maybe next year.
But there's just one thing missing, Lexi. There hasn't been any kids.
Yeah,
There hasn't been any kids.
It's been pretty old around here, I'm not gonna lie.
No. We know tons of kids. And the kids are here to share what Young Life has meant to them. So let's go meet them.
Hi, I'm Avery.
I'm Ella.
I sounded like a teacher.
Wait, stop. Wait, what are we supposed to say?
Said the wrong thing.
Okay. I mixed them. Okay.
You can do it. Sorry, I can't stop laughing.
I'm Reeves. I lead 8th graders. Young Life to me is a place where I can grow my relationship with my friends and with Jesus.
My name is Quincy Charles. I attend Edgewater High School. I'm a student leader at Edgewater, and Young Life to me is life-changing.
Young Life to me is fun.
It's a safe space.
Young Life to me is friendships that build community. It is a chance to share the greatest news to kids all over the world.
I'm Andy Christmas. I go to Audubon, and Young Life to me is an awesome experience and a great way to learn about Christ.
Hi, my name's Lindsay. I'm a leader at Lake Highland Prep, and Young Life to me is a great way to build Christ-like community with friends.
I'm Haley, and I'm on staff in Winter Park, and Young Life to me is getting to go deeper with my best friends.
Yes!
Do it again, y'all!
My name is Miller Hardman. I go to Edgewater High School, and Young Life is a fun experience that I get to hang out with my friends.
The Young Life is adventurous.
Young Life to me is a family.
Young Life to me is pouring into the next generation.
Young Life to me is getting to hang out with friends every week.
Young Life to me is playing Wii at my leader's house.
I think wildlife is fun and you make tons of new friendships.
Young Life to me is a great way to make new friends.
My name is Hudson. I lead 6th graders, and Young Life to me is home.
The best of both worlds.
Young Life to me is a place that creates new experiences.
Young Life to me is a place to make new friends and learn about God.
Young Life to me is amazing.
Hi, my name is Ty. I go to Lake Highland Prep, and Young Life to me is home.
Young Life to me is family.
Hi, I'm Avery. I'm Ella. And we're in 6th grade at Howard Middle.
And wildlife to us is
A fun experience.
and it helps us learn about God.
Wow.
That sure was something.
100%.
It's awesome, right?
Oh,
yeah, I'm
he's
so
great.
glad you guys got to hear from kids and that you could be a part of Young Life Live. You know, we couldn't do tonight without you.
You would have been toast without us.
100%, no chance. Hey, but I don't know what you're thinking, Jeff, but there's just something different about this gala.
Yeah, you know what? For the first time, I actually feel like I feel welcomed here.
Yeah, it doesn't feel like I'm crashing it. It feels like I was actually invited.
Well, that's awesome. In Young Life and in Wildlife, we really want to make sure everybody knows that they have a place. And it's been really fun to have you as a part of our family.
Yeah, we're glad we got to be.
Yeah, it's been great. Hey, but we're the gala guys, and we got a lot of galas to get to.
I bet.
We got to get to that Y-May Gala.
The Y-May Gala.
The Young Men Against Yelling Gala.
Oh, a quiet group.
Oh, gosh.
But I'm Jerry.
And I'm Jeff.
And we're the gala guys. Good night.
Good night.
Hey, guys, it's been awesome. We'll see you soon.
Nice to meet you, Linda.
Okay. Well, ministry sure has looked different this year. But in Young Life, we want to make sure that no matter what, we're finding ways to reach kids. And so check out what our leaders have been doing in the midst of these challenges to make sure that every kid knows that they're loved.
Maybe a sand.
Yes!
Adventure Park table!
Yes!
He's got it! He's got it!
Twice, and then pinch your nose.
Two.
Well, fans, yeah, I think
They are. What are they doing?
Ha ha ha. Two. Yes.
Jump left. Jump right. Jump left. Reindeer beats.
Hey guys, it's good to see y'all!
Hello! In order for us to keep Young Life going and to continue reaching kids, we need to raise support. We need adults in our community who are willing to get plugged in, who are willing to partner with us in different ways. And this year, our operating budget is $255,000. That includes the costs of 5 full-time staff and 1 part-time staff, as well as everything that goes into developing and equipping volunteer leaders to reach kids. That budget also includes vehicle costs, mission assistance, everything that goes into our weekly events for kids, and a lot of pizza. And we couldn't do it without you. So if you help us by reaching our goal tonight, $100,000 of that budget among our Young Life Live watch parties. If you would partner with us and help us reach that goal, it's going to give us a chance to provide safe and welcoming environments for kids from here on out. And tonight I have Michael Parks joining me, our local board chair, and he's going to tell you a little bit more about partnering with us in ministry.
Thank you, Lexi. Now this is where you come in. As Lexi said, we need your help to continue the mission of Young Life, to be able to reach the next kid, to be able to tell more stories about how lives are being changed through the love of Jesus Christ. Our work is not done. We need people like you to come alongside us and be able to reach as many of the kids in the city of Orlando as we can. As Lexi said, our budget is $255,000 and we hope to raise $100,000 of that tonight. In a year where fundraising has been a challenge, we need you now more than ever. So if you'd consider partnering with us, there are several ways to give and it's actually very simple. You can scan the QR code on the screen or on the pledge card handed out by your host. You can visit our website. You can put a check or cash in the envelopes provided tonight. And certainly if you have questions, talk to your host and they'll have answers.
And we know not everyone has the opportunity or the time to volunteer as a leader to go reach kids. But by joining us in this way, you're giving us the opportunity to go into schools. When you can't be there yourself to hang out with kids or to remind them of how much they're loved, by partnering with us financially, you're sending us into schools, sending us with kids, and we couldn't do it without you.
Thank you for showing up tonight. Thank you for your interest in Young Life and attending Young Life Live.